Have you ever set a goal, started working toward it with excitement, and then a few weeks later found yourself off track, distracted, or lacking the motivation to keep going? You're not alone. Most of us struggle with consistency because self-discipline is hard. But here's the thing. Self-discipline is the key to long-term success. If you can master it, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build unshakable self-discipline that will carry you to your goals, no matter how big they are. Step 1. Understand what self-discipline really is. Self-discipline isn't about depriving yourself of joy or forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about having the willpower to make decisions that align with your long-term goals. Even when you don't feel like it, it's about doing what needs to be done, even on days when motivation is nowhere to be found. As Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This is key. Self-discipline isn't a one-time effort. It's the consistent application of small actions that lead to big results over time. So ask yourself, what habits are you cultivating? Are they aligned with your goals? Mastering self-discipline means being intentional about the choices you make every day. Step 2. Start with a clear vision of your goals. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with self-discipline is that they don't have a clear vision of what they want to achieve. If you don't know exactly where you're headed, it's easy to get distracted or lose motivation. You can't build self-discipline around a vague or fuzzy goal. Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, said, "Begin with the end in mind." This means getting crystal clear on your long-term vision. What do you want to accomplish in the next year, 5 years, or even 10 years? Once you know that, break it down into smaller milestones. Having a clear sense of purpose makes it much easier to stay disciplined because every step you take moves you closer to your vision. Step 3. Build small, daily habits. Self-discipline isn't about making massive changes overnight. It's about building small, daily habits that compound over time. You don't need to make huge leaps every day. What's important is consistency. Small actions, when repeated consistently, lead to big results. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, explains it perfectly. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. What does this mean? It means that the habits and systems you put in place will determine your success. If you want to be disciplined, focus on building habits that make it easier to do the right thing every day, without having to rely on willpower. For example, if your goal is to exercise more, don't start with an intense 2-hour workout. Start with 10 minutes of movement every day. Over time, those 10 minutes will turn into 20, 30, and more. The key is to make it easy to start, so your brain gets used to the routine. Step 4. Use the power of accountability. Self-discipline becomes a lot easier when you have someone holding you accountable. When we keep our goals to ourselves, it's easy to slack off because no one knows what we're aiming for. But when you tell someone, whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a community, you create external pressure to stay on track. As Jim Rohn famously said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with disciplined, goal-oriented people, their habits and mindset will start to rub off on you. Find someone who will hold you accountable for your goals. It could be a workout partner, a study buddy, or even a group of like-minded individuals who share the same ambitions. Consider setting up regular check-ins with your accountability partner to review your progress. Knowing that someone is counting on you to stay disciplined can be a powerful motivator. Step 5. Eliminate distractions and temptations. Self-discipline often fails, not because of lack of effort, but because of distractions and temptations. In our digital world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless notifications, and the constant pull of entertainment. If you want to build discipline, you need to actively eliminate the things that pull you away from your goals. In the words of Seneca, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We waste time on things that don't contribute to our long-term goals. Whether it's mindlessly scrolling through social media or getting caught up in activities that don't move us forward, take stock of where your time is going. Are you spending hours a day on activities that don't support your goals? If so, it's time to create boundaries. This might mean setting time limits on your phone, blocking distracting websites, or even creating a dedicated space where you can focus on your work without interruptions. Step 6. Embrace discomfort and resist instant gratification. One of the hardest parts of self-discipline is learning to embrace discomfort. We live in a world that's designed to give us instant gratification, fast food, instant entertainment, quick rewards. But real success and fulfillment come from delaying gratification and doing the hard things today that will pay off in the future. As Tony Robbins says, discipline is doing what you know needs to be done, even though you don't want to. There will be days when you don't feel like working toward your goal, when you'd rather take the easy path. But discipline means pushing through that discomfort and reminding yourself why you're doing it in the first place. When you feel tempted to take the easy way out, remind yourself of your long-term vision. Is giving in to that temptation worth sacrificing your future goals? Probably not. Train yourself to think long-term, and you'll find that your discipline grows stronger every day. Step 7. Learn from your setbacks. Here's the reality. No matter how disciplined you are, you will have setbacks. You will slip up, miss a day, or make mistakes. Self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about learning from those setbacks and getting back on track quickly. As Winston Churchill said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. If you beat yourself up every time you slip, you'll lose motivation. But if you look at failure as a learning experience, you'll grow stronger. The key is to not let a setback turn into a full-blown derailment. If you miss a workout, don't miss the next one. If you fall off track with your goals, review what went wrong and make adjustments. Self-discipline isn't just about never failing, it's about learning how to recover from failure. Step 8. Celebrate your progress. Self-discipline doesn't mean constantly being hard on yourself. It's important to celebrate your wins along the way. When you achieve a milestone, no matter how small, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. This will reinforce your self-discipline and give you the motivation to keep going. As Oprah Winfrey said, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. Celebrating your progress isn't about indulging or losing focus. It's about recognizing the hard work you've put in and allowing yourself to feel good about it. Make a habit of reviewing your accomplishments regularly. This could be as simple as writing down 3 things you did well at the end of each day. When you acknowledge your progress, you build momentum, and that momentum will carry you forward. Step 9. Practice patience. Building self-discipline is a long-term process, and it requires patience. There's no quick fix or overnight solution. Real change takes time, and the most disciplined people understand that they are in it for the long haul. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience." You won't become a master of self-discipline in a week or even a month, but every small step you take gets you closer to your goals. Trust the process, stay patient, and know that with time, your discipline will strengthen. If you focus on progress rather than perfection, and you commit to improving just a little bit every day, you'll look back in a year and be amazed at how far you've come. To master self-discipline for long-term success, you need to start by understanding that discipline is about consistent action, not perfection. It's about having a clear vision of your goals, building small daily habits, and eliminating distractions. It's about embracing discomfort, learning from setbacks, and celebrating progress along the way. Most importantly, it's about being patient with yourself and trusting that each step forward brings you closer to the life you want. So, what's the next step you're going to take today to start building your self-discipline? Share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on personal growth, success, and mastering your mindset. And if you want to support the channel and help me create more videos like this, consider becoming a sponsor. You'll find the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments. And remember, discipline isn't about being perfect.